Could Honor be trying to shake things up in the mid-range smartphone market? All signs point to yes. With the launch of the Honor 400 series scheduled for May 22nd, the company has started dropping some interesting hints. But these aren't just any ordinary teasers. They're bold, creative, and they seem to be throwing a little shade at Samsung. One of the promotional images for the new phone caught people's attention for more than just the design. It shows a phone placed inside an ice cooler, another device with a giant telephoto lens, and an airship flying in the sky with the words, "Not the same," written on it. That message seems like a not-so-subtle comment on Samsung's recent mid-range phones, which many say haven't changed much over the years. Take the Galaxy A55 and A56, for example. They're solid phones, but side by side, you'd be hard-pressed to tell them apart at first glance. That's exactly what Honor appears to be pointing out. It's a clever marketing move. Not only are they promoting their upcoming phone, but they're also suggesting that they're offering something fresher and more exciting than the competition. Now, let's talk about what we know so far about the Honor 400 series, especially the Honor 400 Pro. According to the early leaks and teaser clues, this phone is shaping up to be a serious contender in the mid-range space. One of the main highlights? The camera setup. The Honor 400 Pro is expected to feature a 200-megapixel main sensor, a 50-megapixel telephoto lens, and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. That's an impressive setup for a mid-range device. While it's not confirmed yet, it's likely that the 200-megapixel sensor will be exclusive to the Pro model. If that's true, this phone could become a favorite for users who love mobile photography but don't want to spend over $1,000. Performance-wise, the Honor 400 Pro isn't holding back either. Rumors suggest it will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip, the same processor found in many top-tier flagship phones this year. It may also include up to 16 gigabytes of RAM and as much as 512 gigabytes of internal storage. On top of that, the battery is expected to be 5300 mAh and could support fast charging up to 100 watts. That means users won't have to worry about running out of power or waiting long to recharge. As for pricing, the Honor 400 Pro is expected to start at around €799, which translates to roughly $900. The standard Honor 400 model could be more affordable, possibly starting at €499 or around $560. These price points place the phones right in the competitive mid-range segment, which includes upcoming devices like the Samsung Galaxy S24 FE, OnePlus 13R, and Google Pixel 9a. There's another fun twist to all this. Honor has added a mini-game to their teaser campaign. They're challenging users to find hidden clues in the promo image, and those who spot them could actually win a phone. It's a smart way to keep people engaged and talking about the upcoming launch. At the moment, the phones are expected to launch first in the United Kingdom, followed by other parts of Europe, China, and possibly India. However, there's still no news about a United States release. It's clear that Honor is aiming high with the 400 series. With powerful specs, bold marketing, and competitive pricing, they're setting their sights on users who want more from their phones without paying flagship prices. Whether you care most about camera quality, performance, or battery life, this new series might just be worth a closer look. What's your take on Honor's new strategy? Do you think it's a smart move to challenge Samsung directly, or is it just marketing talk? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this update helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on the latest phones.
Is your next iPhone about to get a lot more expensive? That's what many people are worried about right now, as new trade tensions between the United States and China could directly impact the price of Apple's most popular product. It's not just talk either. There are already signs that Apple is preparing for something big, and customers across the US are taking notice. Over the past weekend, Apple stores saw a sudden rush of people, but it wasn't because of a product launch or special sale. According to a recent Bloomberg report, people were simply checking prices, and many were even buying iPhones earlier than planned. The reason? Concerns that prices might jump in the coming days due to new tariffs being placed on goods from China. Now here's where it gets tricky. Apple is in a tight spot. Most iPhones are made in China, which means the company will have to deal with these new tariffs. Apple can either absorb the extra costs themselves, which could lower their profits and affect their stock value, or they can pass those costs on to customers. If they choose the second option, iPhones in the US could get significantly more expensive. To put it in perspective, the new tariffs could raise the total import tax on Chinese products to 104%. That's more than double. If this happens, the cost to bring iPhones into the US would shoot up, and those higher costs would likely be passed on to buyers. Even though it's not the usual season for iPhone shopping, people aren't waiting for the iPhone 17 anymore. Many are choosing to buy the iPhone 16 right now, worried that waiting even a few weeks could cost them a lot more. Apple seems to be very aware of the situation. Reports say that in the last week of March, they flew 5 cargo planes full of iPhones into the US from China and India. Why such a big move? Because a 34% tariff was scheduled to kick in on April 9th. By bringing in as many devices as possible before that date, Apple could avoid paying the new tax on those units. That means they can sell the phones at regular prices for now. This gives Apple a short-term solution. As long as they're selling from the current stock, prices will probably stay the same. But once that inventory runs out, the company will face tough decisions. That's why many experts believe the real changes are still coming. Apple might try to avoid price hikes by cutting down on how much it costs to make each iPhone. One possible way is by asking suppliers to reduce the prices of parts. If that works, it could help Apple keep iPhone prices steady in the US for a bit longer. But the challenge doesn't stop there. Starting April 9th, there's also a 26% tariff being applied to goods imported from India. Apple has been moving some of its production to India to avoid relying too much on China, but with this new tariff, even that option becomes more expensive. So Apple doesn't have many low-cost alternatives left. If you've been thinking about upgrading your iPhone, now might be a smart time to do it. Once this current stock runs out and new shipments start coming in under the new tariffs, prices could rise very quickly. We could see big changes in just a matter of days. Would you still be willing to pay full price for an iPhone if it went up by a few $100s? Or would that push you to consider switching to another brand? Let us know in the comments, and if you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you updates on Apple smartphones and what these big changes could mean for you. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. 9, Tab and 9 Plus, and even rugged models like the Tab Active series. So local variants like Jump 3, Buddy 3, and Quantum 3 are also part of the plan. If you're not sure whether your phone is ready for the update, just go to Settings, then Software Update, and tap on Download and Install. It's always a good idea to back up your data before installing anything major. If you're more tech-savvy, you'll soon find the Android 15 firmware files on Sammobile for manual flashing. Keep in mind that Samsung doesn't release updates to everyone at the same time. Different regions and carriers may see the update earlier or later, so even if someone in another country already has it, you might have to wait a bit longer. Patience really is key here. Even though One UI 7 is just rolling out, Samsung is already preparing for what comes next. The next version, One UI 8 based on Android 16, is in the works and is expected to launch later this year with the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Z Flip 7. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this.